Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you had a fantastic end to the year, start to the year, whatever you've been doing. Thank you for being part of this community. And we're here to talk this morning about more good news for Liverpool. This is coming in from David Ornstein, one of the best transfer journalists out there. You might have missed this in the New Year celebrations over the last few hours, but these are the direct quotes from David Ornstein in relation to contracts for Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool. He says the feeling around Liverpool is that both Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk will eventually end up signing, and the suggestion that I'm getting is that it will be a 2-year contract for both players. That's what Slot wants, that's what Richard Hughes, the sporting director, wants, and both players, it is felt, want to stay as well. What they need to get right is the financial aspect. Fenway Sports Group have a policy that they don't like to hand out big contracts at their age, but these are unique situations. So maybe they will apply a unique rule. It's going to go on for a bit longer because I'm told there's nothing imminent. Well, I'm sure if you're a Liverpool fan and you're getting an update like that from David Ornstein about two of your best players, you probably can afford to be a bit patient because, let's be honest, there's been a lot of conflicting reports on this, and today, being January the 1st and the opening of the January transfer window, also means if you're in a situation like Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, you legally today could go and speak to PSG, a Saudi club, Real Madrid, and Liverpool can't complain about it, and you could sign a pre-contract for next season. There's nothing that can be done about that. So you're always going to be a little bit nervous about that if you're Liverpool or a Liverpool fan. But the fact that David Ornstein and the credibility that he brings to transfers is saying that the feeling is that they will both sign new contracts at Liverpool for 2 years, it's just going to take a bit of time. I think you're going to take that, aren't you? And I think from a Liverpool point of view, look, I've played the game. I think back to the years when Manchester United was successful and you had players like Ryan Giggs and Roy Keane and Vidic, and they start to hit an age where you're like, they're still really important to us, but they're definitely not going to be in 5 years. Will they be in 2 years? Will they be in 3 years? Will they be in 1 year? There is going to be a drop-off with Van Dijk and Salah in their 30s. So you can understand why a club wouldn't want to give them 3 or 4 year deals, but you can also understand from Salah and Van Dijk's point of view that they want security to stay at Liverpool because there is huge money to be earned in Saudi. So the balancing act is there and you can see both sides. But I think looking at it from the outside in, I look at Mo Salah, I look at Virgil van Dijk, and this time next year, halfway through the next season, I don't think we'll be seeing Van Dijk running around like a bloody Preston North End defender or Mo Salah, playing like, a Man United winger. I think he's still going to be, I think they're both still going to be two of the best players in Europe and two of the best players in the Premier League. So from a Liverpool point of view, why would you risk losing players of that quality when having players of that quality is probably going to win you the league next year as well? And as we've seen, Liverpool have won one Premier League title in the last 30 years. You're probably going to win this one and you might win next one. So the reward is there. And also for the player, the reward is there. So I would have been stunned. I would have been absolutely stunned if Liverpool didn't move everything they could to get these two players to stay. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's a little bit different, a little bit younger. Maybe he's got the eye on Real Madrid, I don't know. But this would be bad news. Got something stuck in my teeth. This would be bad news for the Premier League unless you're a Liverpool fan. Because, look, I think Arne Slot's done a very good job at Liverpool. I think some people have been surprised by it. I wasn't. The foundations of what Klopp put in have been well stated, but also the quality of experience and, best players in the world in their position debates for people like Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah, Trent, Robertson. Those players and Slot and the players they've got coming through, there was a good chance that if that worked, you were going to end up in a scenario you're in. I would have feared that Slot's second year would be very, very difficult. Even if he wins the league and the Champions League, it would be very difficult to replace just Salah, let alone Salah, Van Dijk and Trent. So keeping these players logically suggests that Liverpool will keep being successful. But they have got to long-term start looking at replacements, because what Mo Salah has achieved in the Premier League over such a long period of time and with such consistency is very hard to replace. But also Van Dijk's the captain and he's ridiculously consistent as well. So, look, it's good news for Liverpool. It's bad news for everybody else. They're not signed yet, but I do just think when David Ornstein comes out with that sort of stuff, he must be getting well sourced, well briefed for that, because if they both left, you'd sort of look back on that statement and go, it'd be very unlikely, even though David Ornstein's saying it's not done and it could take some time, it'd be very unlikely that he'd sit there saying 2 years and it's expected to get done and then neither gets done. I would expect both of them to get done, and that's a big boost for Liverpool, and it's a big continuity. I mean, going into 2025, I think that, I'm doing a watch along for Brentford Arsenal in a couple of hours. I don't think Arsenal will win that game. And, well, let's put it this way. Arsenal have got Brentford and Brighton away in the next few days. I don't see them winning both, and they have to. Chelsea have already floundered over the last couple of games. Man City are out of it. Forest won't do it. Bournemouth won't do it. So Liverpool and the league title is a case of when, not if. And then you're looking at that and you're going, how long can this new dynasty last? Is anyone going to bounce back against Liverpool? I think that's going to be the big conversation of 2025. And keeping the likes of Salah and Van Dijk is going to massively enhance their chances of being title elect next season as well. Because Slot's not going anywhere, is he? And I think one thing I've not heard in the assessment of Liverpool is that there's this ongoing conversation about whether Van Dijk or Trent or Salah's going to stay. There's this ongoing conversation about how well Slot's done, but how much of it is down to what he's inherited from Klopp. And I think what people forget is that this is 6 months for Slot, and if he wins the title, a portion of that, and it may well come from him publicly, will be acknowledging what Klopp did and what Klopp left. I think Slot will be open to that, but I think he will also be looking at building a longer-term dynasty where it moves away from the foundations of Klopp into what Slot's built. And that's quite a worrying thing as well for the rest of the Premier League. So he didn't really buy anybody in the summer. I expect that will change this summer. So the daunting thing is, for Liverpool, things could get a lot better, enhanced by the foundations that it looks like they're going to keep with Van Dijk and Salah. Get your comments in below. Smash a like on the video. Happy New Year, and I'll see you live for the Brentford versus Arsenal game.